Hi, everybody. Welcome to another, well, actually, not another Scourge of Ghyran conversation. We will be talking some Scourge of Ghyran. Saray, how's it going?
Going all right. We're finally gonna put everything in order, just like we always do,
Yeah, everything in order, just like we always do, whatever that means. I, I,
whatever
I
that
I
means.
don't know what that means. We did not rehearse. We did not rehearse
That
how that you would say that. Okay, so I think one of the things we want to do today. Let's kind of talk about what we'll do today. In general, chat a little bit of Warcom. Jordan over at Season of War wrote an article on Spearhead, which is super cool.
Cool.
So that's just good to call out. We want to talk about the pre-order going up tomorrow because we are shills. And
Mm-hmm.
then we need to rank some models. We can't stop. Science doesn't stop just
Science
because,
doesn't stop just because you don't like it.
yeah, or just because Scourge of Ghyran stops, right?
Is over.
Yeah. Um,
It's actually just the beginning of Scourge of
yeah,
Ghyran.
it is actually just the beginning of it, right, really. Um, and then we want to kind of talk about what Scourge of Ghyran has accomplished and who is looking good and who is didn't get a lot of nice Scourge of Ghyran.
Yeah, we'll get into the criteria after we do our science rankings. And just to address chat, Polly, of course we're ranking shit we already talked
Yeah,
about.
Polly, what do you do? Rank stuff you've never
What,
heard of or
we make stuff
had
we
before?
haven't talked about.
But what do you do,
Come
Polly?
on, get
What
real.
do you do?
You're a scientist.
Go to a wine tasting and sit down and start by ranking all the wines you haven't tried yet? Oh my god, this guy. Okay.
Get him out of here.
Get, um, okay. So let's see. Where does that leave us? Let's chat. Let's jump in. Let's chat a little bit of news real quick before we do much else. Um, Pre-order is up tomorrow for Scourge of Ghyran. Now you get this nice map of Ghyran. There it is. The Jade Wound. Um, this is what you get.
Yeah.
We'll show you what we can tomorrow during our game. We have a lot of games happening over the next few days. We'll have a official written up schedule for you a little bit later today, but in the meantime, there is a game as usual at 11 a.m. tomorrow. That's going to be Steven versus Brad, Bone Reapers versus Foot Ogres, Gutbusters, which we actually haven't
Fun.
had on the channel yet. And then in the evening at 5 p.m. on Saturday, not a normal time for one of our games, we have me playing Deepkin versus John playing Sylvaneth. And then Sunday, we have a game, Saray, with you at 2
Mhm.
p.m. after our hobby stream. You playing KO
I think so.
versus Meg
Yes, KO. It is KO. Yes.
versus Meg playing Seraphon. Um, so we have a lot of order on order happening this weekend. We'll have almost all the order armies covered.
Disorder in the Order
Yeah,
faction.
disorder in the order faction. You do get these objectives. Now, we kind of talked about this thing that GW likes to do where whenever they release something, they often will act like it's never existed before. And they're doing that a little bit with these objectives. They're really excited about a 3-inch objective, which is the little color circle there. That's
Mhm.
normally what we feel like we would probably get are 6 metal versions of those. This time they've given us not polystyrene, but like wobbly plastic,
Yeah.
full objective markers. These are just in the community what we call objectives, with the control zone and everything, thematic.
In the community.
Yeah, they are nice, and it's nice that GW gives you 6. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm excited. Noah, I have not memorized the names of the objectives, Polly. I just go by the colors.
I have. I've memorized them.
I refuse to be contained by GW.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna say red objective.
red is oaken brow.
I don't care. No,
Green is
not
gnarlwood.
listening. Nope.
Blue is winterleaf,
Green.
and no, purple is winterleaf. Blue is heartwood. Yeah.
I
Don't
like
yeah.
lore.
Don't
I
you
don't
like
like
lore?
this. Lore.
Yeah. These are actually they're just named after the 4 sub factions Sylvaneth had in third edition. That's like how you.
Oh,
That's how
oh,
you.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Um.
Are they like the Four Seasons?
No.
Missed opportunity.
Hard stop. They had that in third. Then you picked a season. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, you picked a sub faction for Sylvaneth, then you also picked a season. Okay. We also get cards, which is good. The cards are super useful. We at the studio can't get enough sets of these, so we're gonna be on the lookout for our second set immediately.
Yeah.
Without hopefully having to pay for it. Someone just maybe we'll just ask Matt Rose to send us another one.
You can just photocopy it.
Yeah, it says all over these that they're cool if you photocopy them.
Yeah.
cool to photocopy and distribute.
Yeah.
Cool to photocopy and charge for.
Resell.
Yeah, cool to photocopy.
Weird that they would put that on the card.
Very okay with you photocopying these, laminating them, and reselling them. That's what it says all over.
That's what it says.
Now, here's what is cool. Okay, it's a little quality of life thing, but I do like it. You can get... they have the cards for the conjurations, and this time, the card has how to summon it, where to summon it, the range of the summon, and all the rules you could possibly need all in one card. They're not in two separate areas. Like, it's not being treated like, oh, it's a spell, but it's also a unit. It's like
a unit war scroll.
We do get a book again. The return of a book.
Oh,
yeah.
Books are fine.
Books are fine. The nice thing about this book is you don't have to read it too much.
That's every book.
Yeah. I know, right? Jesus, God, fuck books, huh? All right. Do we talk?
I get the audiobook of General's Handbook.
Now because as everybody points out, he is such a great dude, and the channel Season of War is sort of a watermark, a high
AOS
watermark
staple.
for Age of Sigmar on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and look at Jordan's article. Give it a look.
No, we're gonna look at it, but we're not gonna read it.
We're not gonna read it. Jordan would understand. I mean, he does YouTube. The whole purpose of YouTube is that you don't have to read. Like, it's nice that Jordan wrote an article for people to read, but like, Jordan, do we really want people reading? This is YouTube, dude. I mean, God, I love the guy. Liam did the same thing. These guys need to think this through. Yeah, it's nice, and props to him. If you're playing Sand and Bone, please do let us know. In all seriousness, I'm not just doing that YouTuber thing where I'm like, what are you reckon? And we're never going to look at it or address it in chat. I am actually curious. Are people interested in Spearhead this time around? Spearhead, Saray, sort of interesting. Like, we went and we filmed Adepticon. We streamed Adepticon. Significantly better numbers for standard AOS that happened on a Thursday and a Friday. Then on a Saturday, where numbers should be higher, I mean like a tenth of it, not a tenth, but what, a fifth of the numbers maybe?
Yeah, it was much less interest. Seemed like
it's Spearhead is interesting because we've seen this before with other games. We've seen this with Star Wars. We've seen this with Crisis Protocol. It seems like people are excited for it. Then you make content around it and you put it out, and the numbers are just awful. And you're sort of like, well, I'm not going to do that again. And it's kind of like a cyclical bad feedback loop. It
could just be a situation of people aren't looking out for it because they're not seeing it, so they don't even know it's out there.
Yeah, maybe. People keep thinking,
but also that's like less. It's less spectacle, right? A big draw of war games is the spectacle, big armies, stuff like that. So,
one of the things we like doing is getting free work out of our community, Saray. Tad is in chat right now. This guy knows the Seraph Online pretty good. Tad, I just want to confirm 100% there are no new models in the Seraphon Spearhead box. Can we confirm that? Follow-up question, if that is true, what is this leader guy in the front of here, down the bottom, and who are the two guys with him? What kit does that come from?
I thought that was the Warcry kit.
Yeah, I think my guess it is the Warcry
or Underworlds.
Or
it's
Underworlds,
one of the other.
Because that is what's happening with the Ogre kit here. This is Hothgrau and his hunters. He comes with like 4 Noblars, and he comes with this little cat. Oh man, the person who ended up doing the free workforce was Polly, the one who yeah. Okay, cool. So honestly, this ogre kit I would say is good, except for you don't need more than one of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's also interesting because he's an Icebrow Hunter, which is a Beastclaw Raider. And then he comes with all these Gutbusters. So I'm sure in Spearhead that's fine. But this is sort of not a great box to buy if you're trying to start up an Ogre collection. It's a little confused when it comes to the hero. He doesn't quite work in here. Icebrow Hunters are good, but you're probably never... No, actually, I'm sorry. Icebrow Hunters are not good. So you're probably not even going to take one. So I guess it doesn't matter how many you have.
There's only one direction. It's up. It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
It can only get better.
If you're looking to get into an army, I think the Bone Reapers one is not bad in conjunction with, I guess, the current Bone Reapers one. The Seraphon one is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, the Seraphon one is great, honestly.
Yeah, Hunters of Wanchi, Source Warriors.
Pick up this in the...
That's a spawn of Chotek, right?
Yeah. Pick up this in the current one.
Yeah, this is great.
This is super good. Yeah, and I like the use of the Underworlds model showing up here to fill things out. By the way, Cities one, also super good. One of the litmus tests I like to use, though, for these is, I'd rather die than use
I'd rather die than use a spawn
I'd rather die. Tad. At his funeral, Tad passed sadly young. On the plus side,
because it's fun of
we can rest easy. We can rest easy knowing Tad never had to field a spawn of Kotek. Okay, now the city one of the litmus tests. I don't know about you, Saray, but I kind of like to use is: would I get 2 of these? What would happen if I got 2 of these? Would it be useful? And
no?
The city one is I don't know. I think honestly. I think the answer is actually a weird yes. The Alchemite Warforger, you can use multiple ones with their ability. Mm-hmm. Same with the shooty guy on the Ogre. And then it's, multiple... You're going to... 20 Fusiliers, not going to complain there. And then 2 units of Wilder Fiend, also, kind of okay. I don't know that you would use all of these in one list twice, but you could use them all in one list twice.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I think I would like some Cavaliers or something.
Oh, absolutely. This in the current box actually pretty good. Okay. All right. Should we get to science? Cue the science music?
We should get to science. I didn't know we were going to do all that. I was in my science zone.
You're in your science zone?
The science music was already playing in my head.
Your science boner is going.
Well, now it's
going.
limp.
All right, well, get it back. Science. Get it back. Get that music. Here's that science music. We can't actually hear the music. Actually, kind of funny.
No, I'm imagining it in my head. All right, so just a quick... what are we ranking today? We asked our mandrels, our members, to vote on the subject today.
Yeah.
The subject today is beach bods.
Beach bods. Yeah.
So that is where our selection is coming from. If these are a random assortment of models.
I then asked when we hopped in here. I was doing some other stuff. I asked if Saray wouldn't mind doing it. He collected. He then proceeded to collect 4 models of guys that look like him.
I'm beach body ready.
No women, so if you were hoping to get some fapping done today on channel, you will
science is like a month ball.
Most of our male audience will be disappointed. So here we go. We start with
There were surprisingly not that. I was like, okay, Marathi? Surprisingly covered up.
I said little Marathi, but she's actually really not beach ready.
She's pretty armored.
She's beach ready in fitness, but she's not beach ready in armor.
She's wearing armor.
Yeah.
All these dudes could probably learn a thing or two.
Yeah. Okay.
Put some clothes on.
Put some clothes on, guys. Okay, the
right.
slaughter priest. We're gonna see this look show up more than once. Has the classic. I've got my armor, but you know what?
I'm only gonna put on my pants.
I've got my armored pants. I've got my helmet, but my chest, where many of my vital organs are, and my abdomen, I will allow to remain exposed.
All right. Crotch covered, lungs, heart, throat, just out. This is cool. I think this is like one of the better Blades of Corn models, so I think this will be ranking high.
Yeah.
What's next?
This guy's a priest. Amen.
Oh, God.
Amen, right, boys? Okay. Next, we've got the Crypt Flare.
Crypt Flare.
This particular Crypt Flare definitely needs a tan.
Yeah. So does that mean he's beach ready or not beach ready?
I mean, he's physically beach ready. He's ready to hit the beach and get that tan, or he could do a couple
I feel
sessions.
like he needs to hit the beach.
He needs to hit the beach. He could do a couple sessions in the in a booth, I guess. In a little. I don't know if he can fit in it with his wings.
Yeah. He's got. Okay, is he wearing a loincloth or is he just unshaved?
Unclear. I've painted 6 of these and 12 of the horrors, which have the same thing. I've painted 18 of these models, plus 2 characters, 20 of these characters. Still don't really know the answer to what is going on down there.
What is happening there? I don't really want to know because I feel like I might not like the answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's move on.
It's a mess.
Let's not dwell.
It's a mess down there. Okay. All right, we're back. We're back to. Let me make sure I get my 4-inch movement. But my 5-up save.
No. This is the one that don't have the. This is not them. They don't have the ward.
But his save is 5-up, right?
Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah. Again, they're all about the armor pants. Not feeling the upper body.
Versus Nurglings, this guy's set. Versus anything else, he's getting...
Dogs, he's fine.
Dogs, Nurglings, he's good. Anything else, he's getting stabbed.
Anything sentient, he's probably not going to be all right.
Yeah. This look is it's a look.
All
right. Finally, a little something for Dad. We do have a female Reaver here in the front.
Again, like, pretty covered up.
Again, she's quite modest. She's very modest for the beach.
I feel like we did all the we did the boobs robot out already, so there wasn't much left.
Yeah. Now, her Boo in the back here, though, he's showing a little more skin.
Yeah.
The Reaver
That's
in the back.
her brother, dude. Don't be weird.
That is probably her brother, but Namarti are very weird. I think
also her Boo.
I think it's possible that they're both married and brother and sister. It's a weird part of the army. I haven't started.
It's a weird. Elves are weird.
Elves are weird, and these elves literally don't have souls. So
or eyes.
Or eyes. They have no souls, no eyes. I think if they are dating their brother, it's fine.
Yeah.
Come on, lay off them.
Who are we to touch?
Yeah, lay off them. Teclis. They have a lot of trauma because of what Teclis did to them. Okay. So, let's start here. How do you feel about the Namarti Reaver?
Yeah, Teclis also. I feel frozen. They're pretty cool. I feel like they're slightly cooler than their brother, the Thralls.
I think so too. They are actually a little more developed too, by the way. They actually kind of weirdly, a little more developed in the face. And
so why don't we head down to the Thralls?
All right, let's start there. The Thralls are far down, but not that far down.
Or farther down.
48.
48? Are they cool in Venari Wardens?
Oh, boy, there's like a million Venari Wardens right next to me right now. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't think... okay. Here we go, Venari.
He's holding one up for us.
Warden.
No, sorry, they're not cooler.
I don't-
As soon as I seen that spear, no.
I don't think so. They're doing two different things. I like the way the thralls. So both models are really strong for like an elf foot character, infantry, and that you could both tell like how they fight, right? Like the Namarti thralls are on the move. She's running. He's running. He's just like loose. He just like shot an arrow. She's about to.
He looks like he's tripping over a rock.
He's about to trip over an eel.
Eel. Eel.
God damn eels everywhere. Meanwhile, this guy's like, I love the battle line thing going on here, and the 3-inch spear needs to be rewarded.
It's a choice.
So that
I'm gonna put them right above the thralls.
Okay.
Sorry.
So now we have a Namarti zone.
Welcome to the Namarti zone.
Yeah, 48, 49. It's like
It's gonna be hard to get in between there. I think that's like maybe a locked down zone.
That'll be hard to get.
They're moving together, either up or down together.
Yeah.
Way too high. It's number. What number is it?
48.
Can you scoot it over a little bit? It's slightly cut off. There you go. That's not too high.
Yeah.
You crazy.
Barry. Psychic.
All right, next up.
Okay, next. Back to Slaughter Priest.
This guy's pretty cool. Unlike a lot of the Cord models, he's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's go up to one of our favorite zones to hang out.
Yeah.
We've got the Free Guild Cavalier at 36.
Oh, he's cooler than Cavalier.
He's quite cool. He's above that.
He's above the Cavalier zone. He's not that much higher, though.
We then have the Ironweld Great Cannon. That's another kind of good. It's a diorama, but it's sort of not amazing, but it's pretty good. Is he cooler than a shark?
I don't think it's cooler than a Black Coach, even. Actually.
Okay.
I don't think it's cooler than Kurdos. I think it's cooler than
a Stalker?
No, it needs to go down. I think it's right. What's below Snarlfang Cav?
Arachnarok.
That is just two very different things to compare it against. Put it right below Painbringers.
Right below Painbringers.
I know we went higher. We thought it was going to be higher, but
yeah. Slaughter Priest is this guy's name?
Yeah, with Hack Blade.
Is it one? It's probably one word, 2 words. Okay, we're gonna do 2 words. Okay, next up we've got.
Scroll down.
Yeah.
Crypt Flares.
This
guy's really showing his age.
Yeah, not one of Flesh Eater Court's better models.
Also, his weird bush thing going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. I don't like that he's just out there.
Guys, don't worry. I covered up my crotch, my genitals, but I covered them up with maybe my pubes.
Hair.
Yeah, maybe my own pubic hair.
Scroll down. Just scroll. Keep going down.
This is pretty bad.
It also, okay, to be real, it's like it's not a terrible model, but it's pretty dated.
His pose is weird.
Pose is weird. I could definitely see these. If you look at the Virkos models, that's like a good modern rendition of this concept. Those aren't as buff, but you get those dynamic poses.
Yeah.
And this just feels a little off.
How's he compared to a Plague Bearer?
I think he's worse.
Worse than Mortek Guard?
No. So here's the thing: Plague Bears are like not interesting to look at, but there's nothing wrong with it. Right? This looks like it looks old and below Iron Blaster. Okay, I mean that's not far off where I would put it.
What do you think? Below?
I think below Corpse Cart.
Below
above
Corpse Cart. Corpse Cart's a little better to look at.
Corpse Cart's more. Yeah, I think it's a little more interesting. The problem, what's interesting about the Corpse Cart is like it's such a weird thing that you don't have much to compare it to.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like we just looked at a like well-shaped, imposed body that's essentially the same thing, right? Or similar.
Do you think if GW remade the Crypt Flare, Crypt Horror kit, that they would make it a dual kit again? Or do you think they would go in different directions? Like you could do some cool stuff with these guys kind of being up in the air. And the army line doesn't have anything like that. They're gravitating away from flying stands, but they're doing a lot of tall tactical. Like I could see like them making this kit and having like the side of like a castle ruin, and he's like one of them's up on that. One of them.
Yeah, I think you'd have them like hanging off of stuff.
Yeah, would you have a different kit though than you'd actually would have separated out, I think, in a way.
Yeah, I think you would.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Okay. Next is the
put this right below Rekka's. We don't even need to think about this one.
Where are Rekka's? There they are.
Right
yeah,
there.
It's not a great spot. Now we're starting to get a Iron Jaws.
Yeah.
Center here. Okay. These
it's the same model with just
Brute Ragers, right?
Yeah. Without a mask and a slightly chunkier, I think, worse looking weapon.
Okay. We did Reavers, so we did it. We did science. We did science. Okay.
Happy science, everyone.
Is this a good time? This is the start of kind of the official Friday show. This looks like
Yes.
as any time to kind of look through, see what we've got. Take a look at this glorious top 10, rounded up by Abraxia. Usharan, Sakar is in there. You've got the Puscoil hanging in there. Rodigus, it's a good one. Scumdrek the other day really fell hard.
We had to reevaluate. It was like asbestos, but like asbestos is great, and then we did some more science, and we're like, actually, this is terrible.
In my game yesterday against John, Scumdrek waddled across the table and then failed a 5-inch charge, pretty much cementing the loss of the game for him.
Actually, let's move that farther.
Yeah, he should go down.
I think we said we are going to put this list in the Discord, and people can make their corrections.
Yeah, let's put this list in. I'll make a big note for myself. List.
Thigh Queen not in top 10. Thigh Queen.
Thigh Queen is Alariel, and we
haven't done her yet.
We haven't done that yet. Nick,
yeah,
we haven't. She's not anywhere on here. We haven't gone to her yet.
Actually, that would have been a great one for today.
Alariel.
We're
not done judging yet, though. Sarai.
No. We've only done like 80 models.
Yeah,
there's hundreds more to go.
Yeah, I know, Nick. You simp. Yeah, good call out. Good call out, other community members. We love to encourage our community members to attack each other.
Attack each other in the chat, please.
Okay. So let's do it. Let's chat here. Our ranking. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up. That's the wrong.
That's not it.
That's the wrong one. That's the one we were just at. That's okay.
All right, bring up Alariel's picture. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Now, we sort of did this. It's interesting the way that OBS and Tier Ranker, well, in this case, Tier Ranker, organized these. They were organized one particular way. Now they're kind of all over the place. That's fine. We'll just go through them in the order Tier Ranker gave it to us then. So, in some ways, I think this is a good place to start because we do want to establish some S tiers and some D tiers. Why don't we start there, Saray?
Well, we should also talk about what our criteria.
What is the criteria?
Okay, so this is not strictly competitive. This is more about did it address a need in the army?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Is it safe?
Is it safe? No, safe doesn't count. Yeah, it's basically, is it addressing needs in the army? Is it fun? And
it's like,
if it does address a need, is it enough?
Yeah, we also Saray kind of said it with this, but both external balance and internal balance. Was the army really struggling? Yeah. Is this going to help the army do better? And then within the army, is it kind of encouraging you to take things you probably wouldn't have previously taken?
Yeah. And the fourth, kind of other factors, is it going to get play? Because something's good, is it well, I'm still not going to take it. So that's not good.
That's not
that
good.
means it didn't really do its job.
I think I know an S tier and a D tier.
Okay.
So let me toss this out. Let's start here. I think a good S tier is actually the one based on the order we would go anyways, Daughters.
Okay, Daughters, okay. Yes, I would agree that
the Daughters upgrade was very S tier. I actually think over the coming, my assumption is that over the coming months, in the beginning of Scourge of Ghyran, we can anticipate seeing some nerfs to this army. You're going to see this army again on the tabletop Monday against John. He's going to be bringing a all-in Flesh Eater Courts list, and we're going to see once again how this army can do.
Yeah.
But when you think about what Daughters got, they were doing not great. It was an extremely high skill ceiling army that still relied on a lot of 3-ups, a lot of prayers going well. It still does do that. It's just that the prayers are much easier to get off now. The movement is much easier to get off. It was sort of a slow army, actually. It picked up 2 things that it really needed: speed and a little bit of durability. I mean, it seems like they were very honed in on how to fix this army, and they did exactly what they needed to do. Now, if you're a fan of snakes, they're actually still doing kind of okay. And I don't know. Sorry, I think the Blood Rack Shrine is kind of meh. Although it is a pretty nasty shooting attack, to be fair. Yeah.
So we think this one addresses some parts of the army that needed a little help. That being witch elves, foot witch elves. And I guess it's fun for you.
Yeah. I think the nice thing about Daughters is, you kind of, Saray, you played against them one time. You kind of now know what they do. They run directly at you, and they honestly, it is a pinning army. This army actually wants to and can. If you don't spread out, this army wants to and can wrap you in your territory and keep you there all game.
Yeah.
In the game we played with Saray, I even had a unit of Witch Elves that didn't even get involved. There's a double bladed nasty unit of Witch Elves that's just hanging back, waiting for their turn to go in. So you have to spread out. You have to focus fight one individual unit, and the army actually tries to work in these weird ways where it makes that hard for you by going in with multiple units, spreading out your attacks. So I think it's going to be a learning curve for a lot of people. To be fair, I'm going to slightly toot my own horn here and say I've been playing this army for a long time. It feels like it works like it used to work when I was doing pretty well with them. Usually, by pretty well, I mean like 4-1, 3-2. Never did anything awesome with these ladies. So it's gonna feel like a little bit of a learning curve for some people, I think. But everybody will be able to figure them out. They'll do well, but I don't think they're gonna. It's also just not that common of an army.
Yeah. It's not super common.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up, Ideneth looks like.
Well, I was thinking we might toss a D tier up.
Oh, okay. Ogres.
Ogres was exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, I think Ogres, unfortunately, there is one thing though we missed about Ogres, Saray, that I was checking. One of the updates they did get an entirely new enhancement type that they can add on top of everything else.
Yeah, big names.
Big names. There's at least, I can't remember what it was, but there's at least one big name that you could toss on a Frost Lord, and I remember it being like fairly nasty.
The -1 ward.
-1 ward on a Frost Lord is going to be a big problem because he charges in.
Yeah.
It's not -1 ward in the combat phase or attacks. It's just
it's a bubble.
It's a bubble. Ward. So he's going to go. So keep in mind, this is a model that does 4 to 6 mortal damage on the charge. So he charges into Archaon. It's got a 5-up ward. Then you charge in with 2 more Stonehorns, and you're suddenly putting 12 to 18 damage on Archaon and taking his 4-up or his 5-up ward to a
6-up.
To a 6-up ward.
Or any demons that are 6-up to nothing. Or like we just talked about how that's good.
That's it.
Something that's not really addressing is like, okay, well that's still Beastclaw Raiders.
It's still the side of the army that they weren't really trying to fix. Right.
Exactly. So it's still much better on Beastclaw Raiders. It's not really encouraging people to take Gut Busters. The shooting they got, I think the Goblin Scrap Launcher is like pretty cool. I think it could get some play. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, the 2 shooting units that got updates just still don't really gel with the army.
Yeah.
At least in our opinion, we could be, but as you play BCR, do you see yourself going into Gutbusters or?
Well, it's funny. I was photographing Brad's army the other day and thinking about how beautiful they were and how I get why people love this army. It is like you get these little squads of 8 or 6 dudes or 4 dudes, and they're just fun. I don't know what it is. There's something about that size army, like the trolls, that draws a lot of people in. You've got
big chunky mobs.
You got a few clusters of these really tough guys. Yeah, it feels very Warhammer. It's just a good vibe. That said, Saray, not really. It's neither ogres nor Beastclaw Raiders are kind of my playstyle, but Gutbusters not really my playstyle. But I do love them, and I want the army to do well. I like seeing it out there. The big names thing I think is better than I thought originally, just because it's an enhancement that doesn't take.
It's unique to them.
It's not competing with anything. You just get it. That said, I thought the War Scroll choices were interesting. I think most of us would have rather have seen the big gun, and then iron blasters, which are the
lead belchers.
Lead belchers, yeah, thank you, lead belchers. I think lead belchers need help. I think that would have been interesting. Everybody always wants to turn ogres into a shooting army, and it's been really powerful every now and then, but otherwise it's just like you start to go, oh, it's a good idea, and then it kind of falls apart.
Yeah. Well, they're probably going to be rounding out the bottom of our list. Let's jump into what's next.
Okay.
Deepkin?
So next is Deepkin, another Zach.
You're going to have to let us know about this one.
Yeah. I actually did a practice game with John the other day, and I took Deep Sea Raiders. Deep Sea Raiders, Saray, is the one where when I'm within 9 inches of the board edge, I'm -1 to hit. We even played a new battle plan that had stuff on the edges, had objective 7.5 from the edges. And I'll be honest with you, it just came up so much less than you would think. There's so many times when I just needed to be in the middle of the board. You know, John knows not to maybe fight me when I'm on the edge of the board and looks and says, do I need to fight him? No. Okay, he's on the edge of the board. Okay, he can hang out there. He's -1 to hit. Cool. I'll just not fight him. The shark bring back one is cute, but again, they got fun ones. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's if we're having trouble, let's look at the criteria. Is it fun? Address internal balance?
All right, you start here. Here, look, we can be scientific about this too.
Yeah.
Okay, it is fun. I think fun moves it up 2.
Okay.
2 or 1. How do we want to?
Fun is the most important factor.
Okay, so fun 2. Does it address internal balance? I'm going to say no.
No. Not enough, at least, right?
Yeah. Does it change their spot externally? And I'm going to say no, but I'm also going to point out that they don't need it. This army's
they're in a decent spot.
They're in a decent spot. That said, that doesn't move them up or down. It's just a reality. They don't need it. Yeah. This is probably where I would put them. I think it's fun as heck. If you're playing Deepkin, let's say you are in a play group, 5, 6 of your friends, and you're the Deepkin guy. There's a chance you're kicking your friends' butts routinely right now. Yeah. This would be a way, if you're a decent human being, to say, all right, I'm not going to take a Kelly Beastmasters today. I'm going to bring out triple sharks, and I'm going to have shark recursion, and it's going to be fun.
Right.
Is it going to be broken? No. Is it going to be good? Yeah, it's going to be okay. You're still going to be Deepkin. Yeah. You're still going to be fast. You're still going to hit hard on turn 3. You're still going to pick something off on turn 2. But I don't... Yeah, I think that's it. The internal balance, it does certainly make Namarti Reavers Saray a little more interesting with their hit and run.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure you care beyond that. I'm not sure it's a huge deal. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Reavers, Thralls. You're not ideally charging with Reavers. And anyway, only it's on the War Scroll, so it's just Thralls. Finally, sorry, the only thing I would add about this is same thing with the heroic traits. The heroic traits it's going to be hard to beat Ancient Pride.
Right. Yeah. That's the can't be hit on 4s, right?
Yeah. For hit transhuman, as we
it's just too good. It's just too good.
It's simply too good. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to imagine why I wouldn't take that. And some of the other ones aren't bad. There's one that lets you move 6 inches. Oh, on Saturday's game, I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna take one where when I recur one model within 12,
Yeah.
I recur 2 models. And eels have a musician, so they roll 7 dice on rally. So if I roll 7 dice and get 3, 4, or 4 fours, which is the number of wounds eels have, then instead of getting
Right.
1 eel back, I get 2 eels back.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So
That's great. Yeah. That's what I'm going to take Saturday, so we'll try it out. But I'm also not taking the fighty Eidolon on Saturday. So I don't really need Ancient Pride. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Okay, Sylvaneth.
Is that Sylvaneth? Oh, it is Sylvaneth.
Yeah.
So what I remember is, chat, feel free to jump in and let us know, because neither of us are Sylvaneth players. John, you're here. If you're still here, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
I know that the cool thing is the reroll hit. Was it hit, wound, save?
Glamour Weave. God damn it.
So good.
Enjoy it now. Enjoy it now, assholes, because it's
extremely good.
That's gonna come
that's
out.
heroic
That's
trait.
gonna come
Is it
out in
heroic trait or
it is an artifact.
artifact.
Yeah, and it's replacing the best artifact currently was Get Back Up on a 3, which is like an okay artifact, but not as good as
This
this.
is incredible.
And but enjoy
throwing
it.
on a Spirit of Durthu.
Yeah, totally.
R.I.P. to your whole whatever's fighting it.
Yeah, and Durthu, that one save he fails, so he's gonna reroll.
Yeah.
By the way, enjoy it. I'm serious, because there's no freaking way this is not getting changed to the word or instead of and.
Oh yeah, it's and.
And it's still going to be good. It still will be the one you take. Even when it does that, it still will be the one you take. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I remember. I remember that being very good. Addressing internal balance? Not really?
Can I say, okay, I think at least this one is fun.
Yeah.
Can I say that I do think there's a case to be made that Drisha has become kind of like a thing.
And like, do you think she's viable competitively?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
She ignores wards. She's got 10 2-damage attacks that are Ren 2, hitting on 3, wounding on 2. She's like crit 2 hits. So she's probably asking you, the opponent, to take something like 8 saves that are Ren 2, 2 damage.
2 damage. Yeah, 10 attacks is nuts.
Yeah.
So,
and
like it.
And you get no wards against these. So Varangard. Think about your new alt defense. You're gonna alt defense against Drisha with your Varangard. So think about your Varangard. You're gonna have to take 8 saves. She's gonna do 8 damage to him. She's gonna pick up a Varangard. You're not gonna get a ward if you had one. So she's probably gonna, because you'll be on a 4-up. You're gonna go from 3 to +1 to -2. You'll fail 4. You'll make 4.
Start taking my Nurgle.
Yeah. So with any other little chip damage Sylvaneth does, and believe you me, they can do a lot of it. Drisha and the chip damage are 2 Vanguard gone in a turn, which is not not nothing.
Vanguard don't even have a banner, so you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the battle formations were like, okay, nothing crazy.
I think the battle formations, one of them that you're not going to take. Wargrove of Everdusk, John did take against me, and I think he's bringing it Saturday. John, correct me if I'm wrong. It lets a Sylvaneth hero use Walk the Hidden Paths in addition to another unit. And yeah, it felt good. It felt like a lot of teleporting.
Okay.
So B for fun, did we give him enough to move him up to Acer?
I think from what it sounds like, if any Sylvaneth players want to chime in and give their opinion, let us know.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like it's an A.
Yeah, we've got
maybe a low A.
Nick, Appleberry, and John all in chat, all Sylvaneth players.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Flesh Eater Courts. This one was forever ago. This was almost like we were younger back then. I had like less gray hair.
Younger. What do I remember from Flesh Eater Courts? What did they get?
Remember back in April, in early
Back in
May,
my day, flesh eater.
the flowers were just starting to bloom. Yeah. So I think the big update here, John also in chat, also known as a Flesh Eater Courts player.
Oh my god, that was very early.
It was one of the first ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bonus recursion on hordes.
Yeah.
That's one of them. The other one was once a Flesh Eater Courts. As you recall, they're trying to buff two things: little guys and little guy
That's right.
and little guy heroes.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, in retrospect, when it came out, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm thinking now it's like, this is like C, maybe D tier. It's just not really doing much.
So let's say that D tier. We're refining our science. We'll only keep something in D tier if it was like god awful. Like why? Like feeling like a missed opportunity. Like if you played that army, you're a little disappointed. I will make one more case for Flesh Eater Courts moving out of D, which is that like ogres, Saray, you might recall they did get a monstrous trait.
Yes, three monster traits.
With the exception of ogres, which I think even big names can't take them out of D. I think most times if you're getting at least one kind of new enhancement and the options there are like pretty decent, then you're gonna move it up. I honestly, -1 to wards. Back to ogres for a second. That's the best one. That's like pretty bad. That's not that great, right?
Yeah.
So this guy, just to recap, folks at home, if you, I've got it here. If you don't remember what Flesh Eater Courts got on monstrous traits and Saray, it's +1 to hit for companion weapons for non-unique Flesh Eater Court monsters wholly within 12 of this unit. So you're not taking a lot of those. That would be currently a Royal Terrorgeist without anybody on them. But that's not a bad unit. We just don't typically take it, and most people typically don't. But if you wanted to run Royal Menagerie, it's not bad.
Yeah.
These are things that are hitting on 4s. They're kind of relying on the 6s for mortals anyway. But it's also a scary attack on its own. Like, it's a D6 damage attack. Like, yeah. 1-2 attacks for companion weapons is the other one. That is the one you put on your Royal Terrorgeist with Abhorrent Ghoul King. And then there's heal D3 at the end of the turn. And if the unit is a hero, heal 2d3. Also really strong on Royal Terrorgeist. Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist. I think at least a C. Did we do it? Look, we got one in each.
It's a lot of I don't think it's like it doesn't. The bad thing, the worst thing is it doesn't seem that fun. It seems like okay, this is like decent enough to take potentially. Maybe if I want to do a weird list.
Well, we didn't give it fun points.
I'm not excited. I don't think anyone's excited for this stuff.
No, John, other Flesh Eater Courts players, are you excited for the Flesh Eater Courts? Internal balance, good call out, Tad. I think the Abhorrent Ghoul King himself, they're teching too much into, hey, little foot guys are good now, which I think is going to be a tough sell. But the Gore Warden, John is interested in taking the Gore Warden. We're trying to get him on stream on Monday, I think. Oh, no, maybe not Monday. Maybe a future list. He's good. He's uppy downy.
Yeah.
I think uppy downy is...
Last model.
I think uppy downy is going to be good this season. Battle tactics are important. and
you don't say.
And uppy downy's gonna be good.
Okay.
Gloom's
I think C is good. A good spot for them.
C is good. This is nice. We've got one in each category. We can kind of go from there.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at Gloom Spike Gits.
Yeah, it's been a while for these guys too. These are also the first.
Yeah, they were also one of the early ones.
I do happen to remember pretty much most of what these guys got. Their focus was on they had two focuses, wolves.
Yeah.
And they had another focus on non-squig Moon Clan.
Yes.
Okay.
And I feel like that was probably a bit of a miss in itself.
Yeah, why so?
Um, you're trying to focus on too much.
Yeah.
Probably should have just focused on
Spiders.
more heavily on one of those things.
Just a heavy spider focus might have been interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, they're a really fun army
Yeah.
in itself. They've got that going for them. I don't think a little extra biting for your wolves is interesting, or like I don't know.
Well, they gave him rend, right?
One rend, yeah.
That's currently kind of what the wolves are missing. So I would say I'd bump it up from D to C there for addressing at least an issue for the wolf side of the army that was being kind of like.
Do you think that's enough though?
To bump it
Just
up,
giving you're replacing a battle formation to give one rend.
yeah, but their battle formations are not that good. Is the problem?
That's fair.
Yeah, their battle. You're not. There's no like looking at the battle formation and going, oh man, I really wish I had that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I also posit something, Saray?
Yeah.
So here's sort of the problem. It is that this was like they were trying to really address two different things: wolves,
Yeah.
and then little guys. Now, with little guys, I would like to point out two things. One, the battle formation is if I tow in with one shooter or one stabber onto an objective, I count as having the whole unit on there. So these are units of 20. This is the size they start at is 20. If you want to reinforce them, it's 40. You can tow in to an objective with one shooter and have 40 on the objective.
Yes, that is very good. That's Giddish Tide, right?
Yeah, and I think like that's kind of fun. And
that's
then,
actually, yeah, that's really fun.
Here's the problem.
It's really funny, at least.
Here's the problem. You kind of said it. It's like when it comes to the little guys, they went fun. It's like I think people are gonna have fun with that. There are so many people. There are people out there who've had night goblins since the mid 2000s in fantasy. There are people out there with hundreds of night goblins. They can pull them out. They can take 120 stabbers, and they can take 120 shooters, and still be under 1,000 points. I think, or right around 1,000 points. Then they can start taking other cool things, and they can start putting fanatics in, which also got quite good.
Yeah.
And fun. They're gonna die to a glass cannon.
Or
they are glass cannon.
They're
gonna die. They'll die to anything. They'll die to nurglings. But the point is, I think it's fun. But you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like for those guys, I want to bump them up here because it's fun.
But then
the wolves, I probably just put here. I don't know. There's also the new spell lore, which isn't bad.
Okay, that makes me think like maybe bottom of B, top of C.
Yeah, the spell lore makes me think I guess B. Although the spell lore is also like Lucky Loki. It's funny you say it's good. I think it is actually okay. Unfortunately, you'd be surprised how much Gloomspite gets want that ability to change the moon. And they've lost that spell. Yeah. I think it's B, and I think there's a case to be made, like you're saying, Saray, it's a C. It's better to be closer?
Yes. Yeah. So bottom of, no. So I would leave it bottom of B. Okay, so I would switch them back.
There you go. Okay, cities of Sigmar. Right.
Cities. What did cities get? Man, we're getting all the old ones.
Yeah.
No, they got the super cannons.
Triple cannon.
Triple cannon time, baby.
They got two things. They got triple cannon. They also the focus is mostly on humans, and it seemed to be on human. They were really surgical here. It was steel helms, cannons, and cavaliers that got the focus.
Yes.
Fusiliers didn't really need help. There's almost literally nothing in cities that in the new one that affects Fusiliers. That's okay. Fusiliers are good as is. Fusiliers might be one of the most perfectly balanced units in the game, by the way. They are a fantastic unit. and I mean that like a fantastic job done over at the studio on them.
I think I would be, without saying anything about the future. I don't know if I'd go and buy a shitload of Fusiliers though.
Yeah, we're worried about rules for terrain.
There's lots of forest.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know if that's suddenly not as good. When we were reading this the first time.
On one hand, yes. On the other hand, the changes to alt defense make shooting a little scarier, right? Because if you can catch somebody with shooting, then they can only alt defense against one person.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. And it might be that they want to alt defense against the cannon because it's scary. So your Fusiliers might get the opportunity to actually get their red 1 off, go into something. There's not a lot of 2-up in the game. There's very little. So, 20 shots on a 4-up, like, force a few wounds.
I think maybe it's just us because we know Brett, and we like Brett. Mm-hmm. The fact that he was so right about he really wanted this great cannon.
Yeah.
And they're giving him this now.
Certainly
that seems fun to me.
Certainly, I think the new fun. Brett wasn't impressed with the new Cavalier War Scroll, but I actually think the new Cavalier War Scroll is wildly good.
They lost an attack, but went up
+1 to hit,
which
is very interesting. I think Matt Rose really wants elves, dwarves, orcs, ghosts, vampire. He wants the stats the same, which is very helpful. But I like, historically in all war games and D&D games and role-playing games, the thing that makes humans special is that they can be really awful or they can be really awesome. And I think you want to reflect that in giving human heroes and human, like, good elite units +1 to hit. You want your good human units to hit as good as enough. Aragorn's not going to hit on a 4. Right? I mean...
Yeah, probably not. No.
Even like Boromir, those guys aren't hitting on 4, right?
No, ring rays, they're probably hitting on 5s. Why is anyone afraid of them?
But like,
I think they're in a weird place though for our question. So internal balance.
Yeah.
So much of the game is geared towards human. Sorry, so much of Siege of Sigmar is geared towards humanity.
Yeah.
But the competitive stuff is not humans.
It's dwarves and elves, right? Yeah.
So is it addressing internal balance and they're giving stuff to stuff that already has a bunch of stuff?
Well, yeah, but they're giving stuff to stuff that already has a bunch of stuff, but also the stuff is not as good as the stuff that doesn't have as much stuff.
Everyone understood what we mean.
Yeah.
Right?
So one of the things I think about Cavalier Saray is that they're a serious competitor now to dwarves. Because they move... and double Cavalier, 20 Cavaliers, sending 2 units of those into your opponent with a free go marshal, again, it becomes a pinning thing. You rush up, you pin your opponent in, and then these guys are 3-up armor with a 3-up save, 3-up save with 3 health. What Brett and I have found is that they are a tar pit Cavalier unit. They're not...
Yeah, they're like Chaos Warriors, or Chaos Knights.
They're like Chaos Knights. They're not, I hit you, I clear you, I move on. They're, I hit you, and I keep you there, and we fight
We're going to hang out.
And the red work lets them have an opportunity to act like they charged again, and then just whoosh, do that.
And then Pontifex Sinestra is like pretty decent.
Very scary.
I think she has a good variant war scroll. So I think these are maybe top of B, bottom of A. How do you think they compare to Ideneth?
To Sylvaneth at A. I think they are.
Right,
I'll be honest with you. I think that they might be gone off better than Sylvaneth.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they're A. I think they're top of A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top of A? Sure.
I think top of A.
Now, I think we should say that doesn't necessarily mean we think the army is better competitively. Just for Scourge of Ghyran, the stuff they got is better.
Any Sylvaneth player is absolutely going to concede that cities are better competitively than Sylvaneth currently also. But you are correct. That is what we mean. But
that is our metric. Yeah. Our metric isn't who is the better army. This is who got the better army.
All right. So far, Chaos, Destruction, and Death fans will be like, no surprise, all three A and S factions order.
Yeah. We
Okay,
can't have shit.
but
And
now we get to Tzeentch. And we had this army on our stream last night. I played Graham.
How'd it feel?
And it felt really fun. It felt good. It felt not overpowered.
Okay.
I know Graham had a lot of fun. So I think we have to give it its fun points right away.
Okay. It does address some internal balance in that they're pushing not Carrick Acolytes, sort of like Arcanites, which are Carrick Acolytes.
Yeah.
Which is good because as far as we've seen, the main build has just been demons, pinks and blues, and Lords of Change and Kairos.
Yeah.
So seeing the Thaumaturge get a little love, both in the War Scrolls, and I think they also got some, right?
Sorry, what was that they got?
They got some love in the both the Scourge of Ghyran variant, and they got a battle formation that's for Arcanites.
Yes. And Spellcasting Coven is the one Graham took, which lets him cast a spell at the start of the combat phase.
Spellweaver Coven.
Worst case scenario, you just do Bolt of Change and just do D3 Mortals. But there's some other cute tricks you can do there as well.
And the Artifacts of Power, the Spellcatcher Amulet is fun, cool.
Yeah,
Graham, sorry, it was the Arcane Siphon that I'm thinking.
Yeah, Graham liked
these. They're both good.
Yeah, now I guess now we have to answer some harder questions. Clearly, it's fun. Did it address internal balance? I think there's a case to be made that it did.
It did, but I don't think it was enough.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure it did, and I'm not sure anything it did. I don't think Tzeentch was in a position to need help externally. No. I think for sure I would, at the very minimum, start here by moving it closer. And frankly, I think I might even put it. I think I'd say it might be the darling of B.
Really, you think so?
Yeah, because Deepkin, both Deepkin and Tzeentch were in a very similar place, which is they didn't really need anything. You were kind of trying to give them something fun. Yeah. But I do think you would see I do think you could see people make Weird Flame Host is just probably still better. Mm-hmm. But I do think you could see people doing some stuff with the Battle Formations. I do think you could see people doing stuff with a Thaumaturge and the Acolytes. Keep in mind, you can also use, Graham found out, you could use his ability on Jade Obelisk. Jade Obelisk is a tar pit with their 4 board. Although you can only ever take 10, you can't reinforce them. But this guy adds like a little bit of beat stick element to a tar pit.
Right. I think. Yeah. I mean, you've played against them. I think. Yeah. If you think they're B, then
I think. Where would you put them? You like them in A?
I would have probably put them middle of B.
Middle of B. I just
just because I don't. I think. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. Arcanites are pretty good, but I don't know if it's. Do you think that people will really start taking them over?
Well,
pinks and blues?
I'll say this: I would expect to see a Thaumaturge and 20 Carrick Acolytes that can go up to 2 damage. Ren 1 essentially. Ren 1
the variant War Scroll.
With the variant War Scroll. It's not that many points for that. I would expect to see that before I would expect to see Thrall Master and Thralls for Deepkin.
Okay. Then yeah. I think top of B is good.
Nobody is rushing to replace their Reavers or their Eels with Thralls, even after the War Scroll. Okay. Yeah.
Can B be the fun section?
B is the fun section.
I mean, kind of. That's where it's at.
That's pretty much what it's at. Okay. Khorne. I forget how this went down. Blood Crushers got +1 damage.
Oh yeah. Which they should have had from the beginning, I guess. I don't know. That feels like more like a consolation prize than it does an upgrade.
I think we were thinking that the two what do you call them?
Battle formations.
are sort of like interesting. But like they're sort of like competing in a weird way with the Khornite Legion. So you
Mhm.
get Tournament of Skulls, which is while a mortal unit is near a demon unit,
Oh yeah, yeah,
add 1 to wound rolls for both of them.
yeah. I mean, I really like that. I think that's like fun.
It's fun.
I don't know. That's not like super fun,
Um,
but I don't know. I like them trying to push the a mix.
but they already have that, right? That's the thing. Khornite Legion is
Yeah, that's true.
that's what's weird about it. Like Khornite Legion is demons fight, mortals fight. This is demons and mortals both get +1 to wound. So it's sort of like when they're near each other. Like, which one of those is better? I don't really know. It depends on your, are you trying to survive and kill things, use offense as a defense? Or are
Yeah.
you trying to clear out chaff? If you're trying to clear out chaff, the +1 to wound, I guess, is better.
Yeah,
Is that something that Core needs help with? Clearing out chaff? I don't know.
not really.
Not really, right?
New prayer law is
New prayer lore, yeah.
neat.
Gift of Apoplexy, I played against Brad. We had a really good game. I think this game ended in a tie. It was Night Haunt, who are, well, we'll put Night Haunt where we put them when we get there.
Yeah,
But
we know where they're going.
yeah, it was Gift of Apoplexy.
Apoplexy.
Apoplexy was, I think, I'm looking, are Night Haunt, are like none of the death ones on here for some reason?
Well, I know that they're interesting because
Yeah.
they all go off on threes,
Right, right.
which is something we had noted. Do you want me to read out Gift of Apoplexy?
No, sorry, I got sidetracked. I feel like Night Haunt aren't on our list for some reason. I need
Oh,
to
we
look
might have
them.
to throw them up there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gift of Apoplexy is you take mortal damage as you do movements. Anything other than move, fight, or charge.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty nasty. Yeah.
I don't know. And then the Mighty Lord of Corn was like I remember not being. I'm gonna reread it, but like it has that cool ability where it's like you wanna what was it? It was something crazy. Oh, hello.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You wanna...
that shows up. That's so weird.
All right, I'm gonna reread the Mighty Lord of Corn because actually this is it's not very good,
Yeah.
but it is fun. You have the once per battle Howl of Blood curdling savagery. This is if this unit is in combat, pick a visible friendly bloodbound unit that of this unit and not in combat to be the target. Then make a 2d6. The target can move a distance. Yada yada yada. That's whatever.
Yeah.
The reality splitting axe is this unit can use this ability if it has been destroyed. Pick an enemy hero allocated any damage points by this unit's axe of corn. This turn to be the target. Roll a dice, and on a 5 of that target is automatic and cannot be placed.
Very good. Yeah. Very good.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
Super stupid.
So do we give them the fun points?
I don't know. What does chat think? I think I still would put this in C personally.
You like these guys in C? Yeah. Mighty Lord of Corn and Blood Crushers. The War Scrolls were like meh.
D?
No, not D.
Yeah, I don't think it's D.
I think it's C. I think you're right.
I think it's bottom of C.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at least fun potentially,
Yeah.
but not very good. All right, what do we got? We got Lumineth next.
We got Lumineth. Okay, I'm gonna hold off. By the way, yeah, I can see like weirdly a couple factions that didn't show up. I'm wondering if there's a limit. Oh no, I think it's just Night Haunt. So I'll try to load them in after we're done. We'll do them last. Okay. Lumineth. Yeah. So these guys, we just did this one, and I barely remember it. But I remember. I think it was good, right?
I believe so. People saying D. People feel. I'm gonna say bottom of C for now. We'll relook at it at the end. I think Ogres got off a little worse than Corn.
Lumineth. Oh, so okay. The Banner Blade was a good upgrade. He went from giving a buff to everybody near him to their control score to a buff to save, which I think is better. We talked about that.
Yeah, and the Light of Eltharion.
Yeah.
Also got a weird side grade.
Yeah.
He has a 4 board now, which is nuts.
Yeah. Light of Itharian got a side grade. Bannerblade got a side grade. No,
But yeah, I think
upgrade.
Light of
Yeah.
might like the non-Scourge of Ghyran variant of Light of Eltharion. Although, well, at least for the defensively, I think offensively the Scourge of Ghyran is better.
Yeah.
Which is fun, I guess.
The spell lores, remember, everything's unlimited.
Oh yeah, that as a concept is just fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm kind of leaning towards fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, I don't think anything here was like crazy good. As for internal balance, I don't know. I think the army's pretty decently balanced internally. Actually,
I think the army is in a fairly good place right now. I think the mountain stuff is a little lacking compared to the wind stuff, but I think most of the Venari stuff is kind of okay. I think it's kind of hard. I think you can kind of try to build the all wind crazy list that start at 4th ed, but they've really pointed that up so much at this point that it's hard to do that anymore. And have
the beam of Hish is super fun, at least to visualize, just blasting people with their light lasers.
I think the real question is, where in B does he go?
Probably better than goblins. I'm going to rely on you to tell me what's better than Kin.
Better than
you guys really think C? Oh no, that's what I was saying. Ahead of Gitz is where I thought.
Yeah, better than Deepkin. No, not better than Deepkin, but Deepkin is the way to think about Deepkin. Sorry, the way I think about Deepkin, it might be a bias because I do play this army. Deepkin are the basically middle of it all. They got fun stuff. They literally, competitively speaking, however, there's nothing in Scourge of Ghyran that you would take over what exists currently.
Okay.
That's kind of the bummer of it. I think maybe 1 or 2 heroic traits depending on your build, which I'll demonstrate on Saturday because I'm not taking a fighty general. I'm not taking a fighty Eidolon, and so I don't really need Ancient Pride or Armor of Sathai. So I think like then there's
opportunity to try new stuff.
Yeah,
because you're not taking that super optimized beat stick.
All right, so right here are your boys, the Iron Jaws.
Iron Jaws. So the variant War Scrolls, I don't think were very good. At least the Rekkas, they're potentially interesting. I think giving up run and charge is hard. Mm-hmm. You do have run and charge still with the Ragers, so it's not a complete loss. But run and charge on a super cheap unit is like hard to give up. So this the Rekkas went up in points and they lost run and charge, but they can give out +1 to hit, which is good considering all attack is changing. But even then, it didn't really evoke anything in me.
Right. It did make you feel anything.
No. The Gore Gruntas got a little better. That's not really a side of the army I play, but I understand they got better. And they definitely needed help, that unit. Again, kind of like the Blood Crushers. I don't know if it was... Don't hate it.
Yeah.
The monstrous traits were okay. Nothing super exciting, though.
It's nice to see them, as we've said. It's nice to see those like new enhancements that aren't competing with existing things, because it's just a straight bonus. Like, cool, free bonus.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, here's Rend. Oh, here, if you damage a unit, if you deal some mortals, and if you kill something, you can do it again. Right. Not super interesting. Yeah. What I do think is super interesting is the battle formation where if you use a unit, and if they're fighting something that has more health than them, you get +1 to wound. That's super cool.
Well, I think the other battle formation with the right build with double mighty destroyers.
Mighty destroyers is interesting. You do need it's limited in that it becomes a dice roll if you don't have a mega boss, so you need to take. Which you might be taking anyway.
Yeah.
I don't usually though, because I usually do Zogrox and I try to maximize art boost. But
yeah.
All that being said, this is like bottom B, top C.
This is your call. You're the guy. Whatever you say. All
I
Iron
want.
Jaws players will either.
I'm going to say top of C right now because but I really want to play and see how it feels with the +1 to wound.
Yeah.
Other than that, it just wasn't super exciting to me. Wasn't nothing fun.
Here's what I will say about destruction armies, right?
Yeah.
Saray, you've noticed that. You have noticed that destruction armies have this vulnerability to mines to hit because they go from hitting on 4s to 5s.
Yeah.
I will say that as somebody who's played Beast Claw Raiders for a while, the wounding on 2s is sort of like a big deal.
Yeah.
If you have Ardboys, if you have Brutes, and you're wounding on 2s, suddenly, you roll 18 dice, you get 8 hits, you're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
These are 3 damage attacks, though, and now you're looking at 8 dice, and 7 or 6 of these are probably going through. And suddenly it's sort of like, okay, this is why destruction armies hit on 4s, right? It's because the damage is so good. And typically that's where destruction armies shine, is at the front with number of attacks and at the back with damage. Everything in the middle, hit and rend are not often very great for destruction armies. And so that wound roll is like, you really do want that wound roll to be a 2. Then that's when the balance is like, you can chill out. You can I hit on 4s, but whatever, I'm used to it. My rend's not great, whatever, I'm used to it. Everything else though is good.
And I think that's why it's potentially interesting. But then you'll run into the issue of you don't have any 1 wound models. There's a lot of 1 wound models out there, and so then your battle formation is just not super useful.
Yeah, Meg is shilling for us. Meg, of course they can pay to move these up or down. Of course. Yeah, we're complete shills, and we
have no integrity.
Dark money. Yeah. We won't.
So I'm going to say C. I could potentially see it moving to B.
Yeah. Okay. Next on the list is this Nurgle. Yeah. Here we go. Here's Rodigus himself on the picture.
This is a good one. I really like
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Rodigus. I like his new War Scroll. I'm not gonna say. I think it's I think it's a slight upgrade. I think Rodigus is actually quite good with Taliband of Nurgle.
Yeah.
Being able to proc those disease rolls whenever you want is very good. That being said, the new Rodigus is quite good.
You also got like a really big thing in that they got a prayer lore.
Yeah, they got a prayer lore, which is something they didn't have.
So
that's really good.
And they got ability to make somebody else a priest. So it makes both Lord of what's his name? Harbinger Decay. Number 1 model, one of the coolest. I mean, wow.
One of the coolest looking models.
When we scientifically rank Harbinger of Decay, Usharon's gonna have a fight on his hands.
Yeah, Usharon better watch out.
Yeah. Is this S tier?
Initial thoughts. I think it's A. I think it's at least A. I think it could potentially move up to S. I want to take a quick look at it again.
Top of
I think
A?
getting a prayer lore is huge, just on its own.
Top of A?
It's definitely top of A, if not S.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to take a quick look at it again.
Now, one thing I want to say is real quick, the other faction, because Steven dipped in and says he's here to make sure OBR gets D, as in doll for fuck. Doll as fuck. OBR is the other one that I missed. And I realized it wasn't, I can't blame tier ranker for it. I just forgot to put these 2 files in this folder. So, and then I should have known because it says 22 files and there's 24 armies. So I should have known. Yeah. Okay.
Let's leave it top of A. At the end,
I
maybe can see it move up to bottom of S. Oh, no, he's bottom of S. Yeah, subtract 1 from save rolls within 6. Is so good for Rodigus.
All right, so he's joining Crethusa.
Yeah.
What a pair. Rodigus and Crethusa. If you're into feet or if you're into fat guys, we've got you covered.
The two. Well, he has bare feet too, actually.
Yeah, if you're into feet, we really got you covered.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, speaking of being a little naked,
The little naked perverts, Fire Slayers.
here we go. We've got the Fire Slayers.
These guys just can't catch a fucking break.
They cannot catch a fucking break. Somebody hates.
I think they might be D tier.
Somebody
They might
hates
be a
this
little better
army.
than
Somebody
ogres.
hates this army. That somebody's Matt Rose.
Yeah, someone is out to get Fire Slayers. They did not get what they needed.
Yeah. Are they
It's very
worse than
sad too.
ogres? Are they worse than ogres?
Well, I mean, ogres did get the big bubble.
They got the.
Okay, let's think about scientifically. Did it address something they needed help with?
Okay, well, I'm going to toss out. I'm going to toss out once again. You do get a Magnadroth upgrade that you previously did not get. So again, you take a Magnadroth, you just get a free enhancement. The free enhancements are good. It's a crazy once per game shooting attack. It's -1 to rend against the thing, or it's pick a second. It's double rampage.
We didn't get anything. Rick, yeah. I think Rick is kind of feeling what I was feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't even play this army. I'm like, come on.
I think Hannah brings up a good point. The Rune Sun got pretty good, and this is something that you can take multiples of. You can make one of them -1 to rend against him, make him a little tougher. That's effectively +1 save. But better, yeah, effectively +1 save, but better because you can also alt attack and benefit from that. So I don't know. And then they got the new prayer lore. The problem is their current prayer lore is okay.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of competing, but the new prayer lore does make them faster. It gives them a normal move ability.
The crazy good shooting attack is very good.
Yeah,
But
Tad.
once for a battle formation just feels so bad.
Tad, if Rick is one of the 6 Fire Slayer players worldwide, then listen to him. Yeah, I
think they're like really not.
Yeah, okay.
They think enough.
So
I don't know. I feel like this army's problems can't be fixed in a Scourge of Ghyran update. This is a real thing.
Yeah. I listen. I almost think they're C.
You think so? I think they're D. I could be convinced, but I think if they're C, they're bottom C.
Absolutely. But here's the build. Let's talk about the Rune Sun of Magnadroth, right?
Yeah.
The Rune Sun of Magnadroth does this. So you take the Rune Father, then you take the Rune Sun, +1 damage if the Rune Father gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
Volcanic Blood, he already had that. Then he's got. Yeah. The damage is okay. Yeah, he's sort of. I'm gonna say top of D, better than ogres.
Yeah, for 310.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
What's next?
Sons of Behemoth. Also, I forgot. Okay, I'm naming these not to be annoying to you. Oh no, Sons of Behemoth's there. Okay, good. All right, next is wowie wow. Next is
Escape?
No, this is an old school picture I picked because it was the only picture I could find of a Carnosaur.
Oh wow.
So here we go.
Ooh, at least A just for the Carnosaur.
Right out of the gate, we're going to A.
Right out the gate. That's an A tier for Carnosaur. We don't even need to look at anything else.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard to get him into S though. But let's try to build a case for him getting into S and see if it's there. You go first. It's my idea, but you go first.
I go first. I mean, I already said the freaking dinosaur was a 53 damage potential. Obviously, do that much damage, but it's nuts.
Yeah.
You read off the potential. It's like 6 damage attacks and 4 damage. It's ridiculous.
It's not. Tad says not S. He's a Seraphon player. My case against it being S is probably that it's really good for this one thing. And they got they got a monstrous trait, monstrous box, monstrous upgrade. And that means that the problem is I actually do think, after having played against it a lot and seen how she used it, I do actually think the Skink Oracle and Troglodyte is not bad. And that said, when it comes to monstrous traits for him, the Titan of the Land, which is the zap him and then he zaps others, is a fun combo. I don't think you're always going to take Ancient Defender,
Yeah.
which I'm sure is going to get a points cost at some point, and you're always going to put it on the Carnosaur if you take it in Carnosaur. But the monstrous traits are cool.
Yeah, monster traits. The fact that they got monster traits is cool. The variant war scrolls, amazing. I think the Carnosaur was like kind of meh, from what I understand.
Yeah, Saurus in general are like the wing of this army that people are really struggling to.
Proxigors, yeah.
Yeah. So I think also, yeah, the Agrodon getting a buff. Yeah, but all these things, I am going to say
it should have been Spawn of Chotek that got the.
I do think it's better than.
Should have got Super Chotek.
Yeah, we should have. Yeah,
Tad
would be losing his
died.
shit. Okay, we're back to some Saray country here.
Oh, what is this? Slaves?
Slaves to D.
I'm just gonna sound like I'm salty.
Slaves to D.
I'm gonna sound like I'm salty.
They're going in D, aren't they?
They're not D. They're not D.
They're not D.
They're not
okay.
that. But okay, what did we need? Battle formations. Didn't get them.
No. And that is maybe, if we were going to rank biggest flops, I might for sure top 5 would be Slaves to D not getting.
Slaves of Darkness really needed a battle formation.
Daughters have 4 good battle formations, and they were like, here's 2 more good ones.
Yeah. Slaves of Darkness, you have 1 good one. I'm sorry, you don't have any good ones. Here's an.
Yep.
So missed opportunity there.
For sure.
Okay, no, sorry. Champions of Chaos is at least fun.
Okay, yeah.
Champions of Chaos is fun.
Yeah. So that puts, I mean, do you think it's fun overall? Is it fun and safe?
You know what? Actually, I think I'm having a epiphany here.
Yeah.
I think I would actually take Champions of Chaos over the Mortals. I forget. I can't even remember the name of it. The current battle formation that everyone takes for Slaves of Darkness. Just because that's at least fun.
Of course. That's the thing here. Your current battle formations are so bad that it's like, okay, well, I guess this is good. Like, why not?
I'll at least have fun with it.
Okay, your current battle formation, just to sum it up, does absolutely nothing ever. It does so much absolutely nothing ever that most Slaves of Darkness players are being reminded by their opponent. The opponent often reminds the Slaves of Darkness player, hey, don't you like maybe do Mortals here sometimes?
Fuck, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. All
right, I think Champions of Chaos is fun.
Okay.
Yeah, God's Wrath Warband, the most forgotten battle formation.
Now, also, the most forgotten auto take.
Yes. World's most forgotten auto take. Yeah. Champions of Chaos is good. That's the one that adds to attacks characteristics of non-monster Slaves of Darkness heroes. That means Demon Prince. That means Champion. Mm-hmm. That means Chaos Lord.
Demon Prince is good.
Cavalry, Lord, Mounted Lord. It doesn't mean...
Krakadrex. It's not the mount.
Yeah.
So that would be cool, but no. That would actually make the Krakadrak kind of like... You'd think,
that'd be very good.
About it a little bit more, yeah. You'd remember that model existed instead of currently...
I'm actually painting it. It's over here.
Nice, okay. Yeah, but you'll paint anything.
I can remember the Artifacts of Power. Nothing stuck out to me, so I want to remind myself. Oh, no, the Head of the Inward is super fun. That's the one where...
Yeah.
If someone else, if another character has Dark Apotheosis points, you just give it to another character and they get the full amount. That's amazing. That's super fun.
Okay, this sounds like it's like low B.
This could be low B.
We're gonna get.
And then we have Abraxia.
We're gonna get raked over the coals for putting them in B, though. I know it.
So Abraxia is her new war scroll is fine. I think some people were more hot on it than I was. I think you can do weird sequencing stuff at the end to make sure you get all of her abilities working, where you reduce control score, but then you can heal before you turn down their control score.
Right. Right. We were talking about this.
She's much stronger, or she has a stronger baseline.
Yeah.
Attack stats, but she loses potential for crit mortals, which is not fun.
I know.
But whatever.
I know. I was kind of saying that she's. I feel like she's become a lone operator.
Yeah.
She goes down and she handles a quarter of the board. Your opponent's weak quarter, wherever
Yeah.
your opponent's kind of weak, Abraxia can kind of go in there and wreck face. She's going to be really good at that. She's fast enough. She's durable enough. She hits hard enough that wherever your opponent's got like one kind of good unit and then some utility, she can like clean that up.
Yeah, and so like, but here's what if you're talking about internal balance, Abraxia was not the one to do.
No.
Abraxia was not the one to do.
It could have been nice.
They try to give a little bit of love to Dark Oath. I think Dark Oath need a lot more love than this battle formation, although I do appreciate them. That's nice.
What about even Knights, I think, would have been interesting.
Yeah, I think I would have liked Knights. I mean, so here's what we're talking about, like internal balance. I'm still going to be taking Chosen and Vanguard more than anything.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Even with the Paragons of Darkness, the Champions of Chaos, which potentially makes a Demon Prince scary, I'd still rather just bring Chosen.
And then as Saul and people are pointing out, there's also just Be'lakor, right?
Yeah.
Be'lakor's hard to beat right now.
Too good. Yeah. So we were talking about this. You know who? Eternus. Eternus is the character that should have gotten a War Scroll update. Or like Dark Oath. I actually think Dark Oath's in a pretty good spot. Weirdly, I think the Wilder Fiend would have been a great choice.
Wilder Fiend
would have been a great choice for
a
War Scroll update. But I think that because of that, I'll put it in B.
Okay, low B.
I think there's fun stuff here, but it doesn't address anything that needed to be addressed.
Look at this perfectly beautiful symmetrical.
Oh yeah,
ranking.
We should just stop here.
Yeah. Okay, but we can't. We've got our girl, Sakaar, and the Soulblight Gravelords. This is a tricky one because this faction just got a Battle Tome.
Yeah.
It might be, between the Battle Tome Saray and the Ghyran, this might be the biggest shakeup we've had in 4th Ed of Soulblight Gravelords. They were kind of like a low-mid army, competitively speaking. But I think still plenty of play. I think people that like Soulblight, we're still happy to try to take them to competitive events. People that don't play competitively, I think we're probably mostly still happy with them. They feel pretty flavorful. It's a pretty well-designed army. It's broad. It's a broad army. It's got a lot of options. It doesn't even really necessarily have weird wings to it, meaning like, oh, I got to take all wolves or all spiders or whatever. Right. You can kind of mix and match anything in this army and makes things work. So what we got was, I'm going to say, one of the places that was really lacking was zombies, and we got some zombie love. I think right away, for me, that makes sure we're not in D. Mm-hmm. Sakaar was not great. When she showed up, showed up last edition, she was awesome. Then for whatever reason, in 4th edition, she wasn't good. Now she's kind of back. Boy, I don't really want to be 18 inches from her when I'm making charges. Or
she's about to remind me.
That is
she's about to actually from across the fucking board.
Yeah. Per my last email, you need to slow down. Slow down in the hallways, everyone.
Hall monitor.
I know many of us are busy. I know we're busy with our own special projects, but people are hitting shoulders of other people and spilling coffee. Slow down. Nothing is so important to spill your coffee and ruin your shirt. Thomas. Okay.
Fucking Thomas. Fucking Manfred.
Yeah. So
her abilities are very good. Sakaar's abilities. Are you gonna take those battle formations over back and? Probably not.
Probably not. Although. The one is a zombie one, right? It's zombie and death rattle. Right. What is the death rattle infantry? It's vampire moves or your cursed sepulcher has a 4 board.
Oh my gosh!
Cursed sepulcher is a 4 board.
Here.
I don't honestly. I hope. I love Matt Rose. I've called myself a Matt Rose fanboy, but I hope he lost at least one night of sleep on that. He deserves it. I don't know what he was thinking on that. I take it back. That was harsh. I
It was harsh.
just FAQ. Give them 4 more wounds. If there's 4 more health. If they're so necessary to the army, which they kind of are.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 Soulblight players are in this weird position with this. Where, by the way, I think the rest of the army is pretty strong. They're in this weird position with their new terrain that they just got. Here's your new terrain. Focus half your enhancements and choices on keeping it alive, right?
Yeah.
So there's an artifact that John, I think, has kind of said is sort of like the must take, which is bring 1 back once per turn.
Yeah.
And then now they have a battle formation that's like pick 1 and try to keep it alive.
Give it a 4 port.
Yeah, it's not even
Why are you
all.
doing this to me?
It's not even all of them have a 4 port. It's like pick 1.
Pick 1.
In your hero phase, I don't know where my opponent's going to be during his combat phase. I hope he's near this. Like,
tricked you. I'm gonna go fight the other one.
Yeah, no one will ever take this battle formation. No one will ever take this battle formation. That's I hate that. I hate that.
That being, I mean, it's just they've got a new book. Yeah. I wouldn't want them to have an S tier Scourge of Ghyran update. That would feel bad.
No. Now they also got Immortal Ego, which is reroll 1 hit, wound, and save roll.
Oh, god damn it. That's so good.
Again, enjoy it while it lasts. But also,
go
Saray, remember, the best unit for this is the nastiest unit you can put this on, and quite nasty, by the way, with a 3-up armor save, some 3-up some 3 damage attacks, is the what's it called? Vangorian Lord. They've lost Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon, really, or they're about to lose it, right? So I think there's no Spirit of Durthu here is the point. There's no obvious, like, holy crap, we now definitely take Spirit of Durthu, and we definitely take whatever theirs is called.
Glamour Weave.
Glamour Weave, yeah.
Whatever it's called for this army, yeah.
Yeah, this one is Immortal Ego, which is a cool title. I love that the vampire. I love the ego concept of vampires. It's good. Does it put him in B?
Does anyone have any? What does chat think? I don't know. I feel like this
low B, high C. I think
it's like high C.
High C.
I don't know. I mean maybe.
Maybe B. I kind of like low B.
I think it's better than Flesh Eater Court's update.
Oh, for sure, better than Flesh Eater Courts. Is it better than Iron Jaws?
I don't know. That's hard.
Well, look, Liam T points this out. As I'm saying it, I'm realizing he's right. Like, Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon is you could take it. It's tournament legal for 1 more year.
Yeah.
This is very good on a vampire. Immortal Ego is very good.
Yeah, I would put it top of C, maybe potentially bumping up to bottom of B. I think it's better than Iron Jaws.
I think it's here personally because it is fun. Sakar is fun. It might be above Slaves. I don't know.
In terms of remember, we're not doing competitive viability. It's what they needed.
What they needed. Yeah, no, I know.
How good was the update?
I mean, it's just that Slaves.
I think they are better.
It's just that Slaves didn't get battle formations, and they needed them so.
Well, they did. They just weren't good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We have our new auto take battle formation. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true. You do have a new auto take. That's worth it. You're right. Let's stop here. Okay. I played Crew Boys last night. I was on a Crew Boys forum, Reddit, and everyone said Badmouth Baiters was awful. Boy, are they wrong. It is so good. Now I screwed it. Now no, I didn't quite screw it up. I kept myself in the game with it. This is my first time playing the army. Meg told me right before we went live that Bakachi Dancer, YouTube commenter, who comments on all of our videos and tells us all the things we do wrong, in a nice, we appreciate it. He does it typically in a nice, polite way. Says that the it's full of things I did wrong. I know I did a lot of things wrong. On the plus side, I know I didn't do anything wrong that advantaged me. I know a lot of things I missed. So I'm excited to see those comments. Badmouth Baiter is quite good. With the Gnash Tooth is also really good.
The teleporting Gnash Tooth.
I forgot to pull an Ogroid Thaumaturge out of combat and run away with it, and fight them on
Oh
my
yeah,
own.
drag it away.
Instead, I hung out with 20 Carrick acolytes. Although I don't think I could. I don't think I had the movement to go anywhere anyway. I think Graham and I kind of decided I would have been able to do it. Yeah, I think Cruel Boys to me,
They needed a lot of help.
they need a lot of help. I actually think this is a low A.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, they got
they needed a lot of. Okay, did they get all the help they needed? No, but what they got is quite good.
I'm gonna be
It's
honest.
also super fun.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd be curious. The most competitive player that I know in here, and is a known competitive player on the West Coast is Tad. I don't know if he's still here. I kind of, after playing him one time and losing, and seeing the tools, I don't think they're bad. I think this is a pretty good army at where it is. I think they're like a very decent army. I don't know that they're really top tier, but I think they're pretty good. And like, I just think they have a high skill ceiling. I was playing them yesterday and I was like, oh yeah, I screwed that up. Oh yeah, now I know not to do that. Or now, like, there's a lot of learning with this army. But I think once you get it, a good players could do very well with this army. I
think they can do decent. I think they still have some gaps, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to put bottom of A, I think that makes.
Oh, the monstrous traits alone help. Yeah, make this. Yeah. I think these guys are up here. I think they've got some tools. Okay. Skaven, all the way back.
What the hell? They were the first one.
They were the first one.
They did. And they got the Brood Terror, right?
They got the Brood Terror. They got 2 new battle formations. We got a demon. Oh, we got Demon Bodyguard.
Mm-hmm. Demon Bodyguard, which is good.
We got 1 unit redeploys, then 2 other units redeploy. Not bad. 3 redeploys. Pretty good.
Not bad.
We got heroic traits, which I think I don't have a pulse on the current Skaven heroic traits. Folks in chat, let me know. I think the Screaming Bell, yeah, as the Steve 19 points out, Screaming Bell, very good. Counts as a null hole.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I'm not up to date on Skaven competitive. I think the build was a shitload of rattling guns or a bunch of monsters, like a bunch of not brute terrors,
ogres and storm fiends.
Yeah. Storm fiends, yeah. I believe that's what the builds were.
I don't know that's. I think you're correct, and I don't know that's changed. I think the only thing that's made a change is the Grey Seer. I still think hordes of clan rats are somewhat uninteresting. I think that's okay. I think clan rats aren't. I think that you're supposed to take a couple units to screen things. People want to be able to take 1 million. Ty and I, when we were at Nova last year, encountered a guy that brought 240 some clan rats. His whole army was just clan rats. He actually won some games too. I think that everything's kind of okay. The Brood Terror got better. The Brood Terror can pass out his limbs to give more attacks. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's super fun. That's a really fun rule.
Yeah.
Latest build was Vizek and 180 clan rats. That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Clan rats. Yeah, you know.
So I don't know. I guess internally it was probably fine. It seems like there's a lot of different builds.
Yeah. Our B area is getting pretty long. Once we add, which I think is where this is going, Skaven to it. I'm gonna confess that I'm breaking down my ability to know how B should be ordered. I think we have it right with Tzeentch at top still.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know that we have the bottom right between Soulblight, Slaves, and Gloomspite. I think there might be some reordering there. I feel
like Gloomspite is not as good as we thought it was.
I think so too. I think the Elves are okay where they're at.
Yeah.
If we add Skaven in here, I think they go up pretty high into B.
Okay. The 2 things they got are quite good.
Yeah.
I think Gloomspite probably needs to move back.
You like this is
Yeah.
this is actually sort of what I think.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
Sorry.
I would even maybe move Gloomspite to bottom, top of C potentially.
That's actually sort of what I think. I think kind of weirdly because of Sakaar and because of Immortal Ego. Again, I know we're not saying competitively speaking, but Sakaar is very fun. Like, she's going to be very fun to put her in the middle of the battlefield and just... This is an army that screens professionally, Soulblight. So, like, to put her in the middle of the board and have her surrounded by Death Rattle or Wolves, and she's just like, reroll the charge, reroll the cast. Obnoxious.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Okay, next is a good one, Gargants. You can't tell.
They got that weird deep strike.
You can't tell, but that's a Kraken Eater in there.
Yeah, he's the one who got the Variant War Scroll, so he can.
So I'm not going to put him.
He can deep strike, which is fun.
He can deep strike. I personally love. We're actually gearing up here. I was actually talking to Graham last night a little bit about this. We're gearing up to get Gargants on our channels soon. We're going to be centering a hobby project around it, do some cool stuff with it. Sorry, I love the idea. We won't have double Kraken Eater. I love the idea, unless we get sent another Kraken Eater. I love the idea of double Kraken Eater, double Man Crushers, standing back and just throwing shit.
Hurling rocks.
Throwing shit at the opponent's army. I love the new battle formation where you throw shit. I think... Effican, Nighthaunt and OBR I'm going to add at the end. Don't worry, I got them. We'll be adding those two at the end. I forgot to load their files here. Yeah, pulling up Sons of Behemoth. I
think jumping rocks is pretty fun. I like I said, I've said it like 3 times. Deep striking Gargant is very hilarious.
Yeah, in the context that you could deep strike him.
Gigantic model.
You could also deep strike him near some terrain and then start throwing rocks.
Throw some rocks.
Start throwing shit. Guys, I think it's a little hard to overstate how good. Okay, I know these guys hit on 4s, and actually, Man Crushers hit on 5s with their shooting attack.
Yeah, no, they're terrible.
But the fact that you double the number of attacks, I don't know. And yeah, it's good.
I'm going to trust your judgment. Where would you put them? I think they're still. They seem like.
I think they're still C
to me.
I think they're a high C.
High C.
I think they're high. High C. I don't think they're Iron Jaws, but I think they're better than Flesh Eater Courts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
I think that is what. Unfortunately, per our criteria, they would be B, as in they're fun. But I think that it's not that fun.
It's not that fun. After all that, it's not that fun.
Yeah. Gatebreaker is another good one with a good missile attack. Gatebreaker, Kraken Eater. Yeah, actually, I don't even know that you need little guys. Well, here's the problem. It can only affect 2 big guys. But it can affect any number of little guys. So I think that's why you want 6 little guys. That's a total of... They each have one shot. So it's a bunch of shots. And then 2 Kraken Eaters, or a Kraken Eater, and a Gatebreaker, whatever you want. And just hurling shit. Sounds super fun. Okay, KO.
Yeah. KO.
Hey, we're symmetrical again.
It's going to be a bad time. No, it's a really, really fun. The attack squadron is amazing. It's not amazing. It's really fun. It's cool. I really like the idea of a double gun hauler using all-out attack for price of 1, or for free if you have the Admiral.
James points out in general the boat traits are good. Just getting again, it's an enhancement that's not competing with anything. Yeah,
the boat trait in particular that the area of deny magic is. I love that thing.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I would say it's A tier.
Is it fun?
A tier's maybe
is it fun and safe?
It's fun and good.
It's fun and good. Does it?
Yeah, it's good.
Where? Stop me when I'm right.
And and I think the gun haulers were in like they were okay. No, it's not that. No.
Okay.
For what the army wanted and needed, and is it fun? I don't think it really addressed internal balance. I don't think it's going to change external balance. I think it was fun. I would put it right in front of slaves. Even though I feel like what slaves got was maybe better, I think that the problem with slaves is that it didn't address internal stuff. Whereas at least the KO was like, it's fun and it'll change the way I play, I think is the main thing.
The gun hauler thing is fun as hell. Like,
yeah, it's super fun.
Super cool, yeah. I think there's like worlds where people are going to want 4 gun haulers, 2 units of 2.
Yeah. And my magic denial thing is good enough. The rest I could take or leave. But those 2 things will change the way I play the army, so that's a good sign.
Now for Stormcast, we really liked Iridan the Snitch's War Scroll.
Yes.
After that, though...
Everything else was...
I think was not amazing. This is another unit that needed battle formations, in my opinion. In my opinion, Stormcast really needed a affect the whole army, soft rule. Gosh, folks, Matt, I would love if I'm on an objective, I have a 6-up ward. I would love that. That used to be a battle formation. It affected the whole army, not just this chamber, not just that chamber. But it's okay. They really want you to focus on one chamber and maybe have a little bit of another. Like Warrior Chamber is wants you to have something else. I just don't. Yeah, the problem when they do that is that they become obvious winners, and it's of course it's Ruination Chamber, and then there become, we just really want Ruination Chamber stuff right now, which Iridan is.
They just end up pushing one thing.
So it has not addressed internal balance, in my opinion, at all. I don't think it's particularly fun. I think all it really did is make Iridan very good.
And that's kind of similar to the Firestars, maybe. I don't know if it was the worst Elijah. I would put it like top of D.
Top of D, bottom of C. I'm kind of okay with top of D. I think if you're a Stormcast player, you're feeling a little hurt.
Yeah.
You're feeling a little sad right now.
Good morning, though.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And then we got to do this one, and then we have to add in the other 2. I don't know if you can do that without breaking everything, so we might want to screenshot this beforehand.
Okay, let's finish Hedonites. This isn't all pink and purple, but this is a picture of a Slangor.
Yeah. Oh god, what did Hedonites get?
Yeah, so they got the interesting Slangor that deep strikes. And,
yeah.
And they got the demon girl standing on top of
Celeste, yeah.
Yeah. Did they get battle formations? I feel like this is a pretty mid one, but I think we kind of liked it.
C-ish tier.
Yeah. Yeah, they did get some good battle formations. They got bonus artifact. Yeah. I mean, bonus artifact is not bad if your artifacts are good. And they got add 1 to mortals, infantry mortals, if they're outside of friendly territory.
Okay, yeah, no, that's pretty good. And Fiend Bloods are actually very good.
And
Fiend Bloods are kind of crazy good. I know, they're not super strong, but they get that constantly moving.
Yeah, and
every phase, which is super fun.
They can ambush, and they can get if you take the battle formation, that they are Cerebites, so they get their red too. We said that this is maybe the ultimate glass hammer unit.
Yeah.
I think they're competing they're competing with Daughters of Cain for that title, and which makes sense. That's what Slaanesh kind of is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna die to a stiff breeze, but boy, they're nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are actually pretty good. Celebrity Warlord's fun.
Celebrity Warlord's
you have to spend a CP, but that's fine.
That's okay. That's standard. Yeah, that's standard. Most people would rather have the CP than the 4-up. What's that?
I would put these pretty high, actually.
Yeah, I think they're in A, but I think they're probably in low A. I honestly, for sure, I think they're not as good as Cruel Boys. Although I am going to go ahead. I do think Cruel Boys is above Sylvaneth.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're here. Okay, now I'm gonna go to this screen real quick. I don't think there's anything on our computer that I care if anybody sees.
I don't. You may want to save it just because I think it might.
We'll try. I'm gonna do a screenshot.
Okay, do a screenshot. All right. While you're doing that, I'll
Okay.
talk to chat.
You talk to chat.
So for your army, how are you guys feeling? Dates. I play slaves. I feel fine with it. Like I said, the new battle form 2 attacks is like, it's good enough that it's probably my default now. I wish we would have gotten a different war scroll, but the new war scroll for Abraxia isn't bad. I just, I feel like it's not. There are other things that need it, right? The Slaughter Brute, the Wilder Fiend, the most of the Dark Oath mounted character, Chieftain. The rest of the Dark Oath stuff is probably fine, but if they wanted to push that, they could have. I feel like Eternus is terrible. He could have used help. Legionnaires, like, has anyone ever taken Legionnaires?
Oh, yeah. Poor Slaves of Darkness. That book is a mess. Again, that book is going to be a mess until they separate Dark Oath out.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're never going to... It worked, by the way. We're good. You're never going to really get, I think, where you want to be with that book until they separate that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved a variant Chaos Warrior would have been interesting.
Yeah.
So definitely not needed.
Okay. Here they are. Nighthawk and OBR, and boy, a tale of two cities for sure. Speaking of which, two cities and a tale of two cities. These are the two factions whose cities are represented in the Sand and Bone release.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like we planned it.
Yeah, this is Asaya is the Osiarch place, right? Yeah. And then that's Bone. And then Delorum is Lady O's city.
Yeah,
Nighthaunt.
I think people are already calling it out. Yeah, Nighthaunt's probably
yes. The only question with Nighthaunt is, are they better than Nurgle or not?
They're better than Nurgle. I don't know if they're better than Daughters. That's going to be for you to tell us because you play both of those armies.
I know everything came up Zach here. Look, I did good. I would say they are not better than Daughters.
You don't think better than Daughters?
No.
I mean, Daughters stuff is very good.
Daughters stuff is Tam. I have to say, Tam says I played DOK, but I'm disappointed. Why is the faction so small? I have to choose between Stakes and Elves. That's fairly normal. Honestly, that we even have two wings of the army. That is good. A lot of factions don't have that. Ask Fire Slayers; they love a second wing. And the other nice thing about Daughters is our two wings really work well together. You don't have to kind of go one or the other like Ogres. Ogres, the second you start Beastclaw Raiders and Gluttons or Gutbusters just don't really mix that well because of keywords. I think. But that said, let's talk about what Nighthawk got to get him here at S.
Black Coach.
So the other thing, here's one other thing that it is important. Black Coach, obvious, duh.
Yeah.
And by doing that to the Black Coach, they opened up once they nerfed the original Death Stalkers battle formation. In my opinion, Nighthaunt were one of these factions that I actually think ended up with 4 pretty equal battle formations.
Mm-hmm.
Once they, but what they did by making the Black Coach good is they made one of those battle formations, the Black Coach battle formation, so good. The Black Coach battle formation is so good. They took a unit and they said, hey, this unit hits like a ton of bricks now. Oh, and also you can use the battle formation that gives it everyone near it a 5 board.
Right.
Crazy good. What else did they get? They got 2 new battle formations. One is what? More recursion? Why can I not remember what they got? I haven't taken the 2 battle formations are. The one is if I hang out in combat with you, I get -1 red. That one's like kind of okay. And the other one is moving Nexuses of Grief, which I think is kind of cute. This is the important thing to also understand about why we think Nighthaunt are so good all of a sudden. At the same time that they got their Scourge of Ghyran War Scroll, sort of like Soulblight, they also did get a terrain piece. They got a quote-unquote out of phase release of just like, hey, your faction terrain is another faction's faction
same terrain.
So here's your rules, which is great. Like, brilliant move, by the way. Yeah. That's something you might not have seen GW do 5 years ago. That they were like, hey, look, you can buy the model, so here's the rules. But they're not as good as Daughters. Daughters just, they took exactly what Daughters needed and they just gave it to them. Done.
Yeah, the Daughters coming back, bringing back models to units at the end of every turn is so good.
And I'm not sure it's as good as the 5-up ward until they've taken a fight action.
Yeah, those are both amazing.
They're both amazing. Yeah.
Then so I think they're good where they're at. Nighthaunt.
I think that's where they go. Then we get to Bone Reapers. People are sad here, and I think for good reason.
I mean, I don't. To give you an idea, I don't remember anything about them.
So,
it was that unremarkable.
The emphasis was absolutely on Mortek Guard.
Yes.
They really want you to take Mortek Guard. They want you to take a lot of Mortek Guard. And they've done two things to him. One, Tithe Guard, is Osiark Bone Reapers Wizard and non-fly Osiark Bone Reapers units of the Wizard heal once per turn in your hero phase. They can heal or they can return models. Not bad. This is really designed for, again, Stalkers, Immortus Guard, and Mortek Guard. The other one they got is once per turn, you pick a friendly non-hero, non-fly Bone Reapers infantry unit, same 3 units. You give them a 5-up ward. They get +1 to charge, or +1 to charge, or +1 to wound, or anti-charge rend +1. It's fine. It's a fine rule. It is the most boring thing ever. Their spell lore pretty boring. Their war scrolls just centered around Mortek Guard doing better. Mortek Guard can help give -1 rend, or reduce the rend of an incoming attack to a nearby unit. I don't know that this makes you take Mortek Guard. It is flavorful.
Yeah, and it addresses something that the army needed. Bricks of Mortek Guard were super popular.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the thing that were being taken the most were flying. Fly units are pretty good, and the cavalry is good.
I'm always a little reluctant to be a content creator and rip on an army at its core. OBR are probably known to be one of my least favorite armies in the game. But I would never want anything to happen to them. I think they're super cool thematically. I love the lore of OBR. And also we have OBR tomorrow. Remember to tune in.
Yeah.
That said, I do look at the army and see people playing it. Steven's going to be playing it tomorrow. And I do often wonder, is this a fun army to play? It doesn't seem fun to play. You barely move, you walk around, you get charged, and then you win.
Or you get charged and no one doesn't, and they do no damage to you.
Or people are like, well, they can occasionally go really fast, and it's like, yeah, they can, and then you go really fast, you charge something, you kill soft targets, you don't kill hard target. It feels really like OBR doesn't feel, when I'm playing against them, the games are almost never like, I either grind and win. Yeah, I either grind and win or I get tabled immediately, kind of depending on my opponent. It's like, if I'm going to beat this army, I have to work hard for it. Or they could just bullshit table me because I can't get through a 3-up armor. I can't, they're making too many 3-ups.
So,
yeah.
I think
that said,
it slightly addresses some internal balance. Yeah. Slightly. I don't think it's fun. I don't think there's anything here interesting. Any OBR players, let us know. Does this move the needle for you? I can't speak to whether this would change the army building I would do for the army. It doesn't seem like it.
I would probably put this in D, but I think above Fire
Yeah, I
Slayers.
think I put it in C.
You put it in C?
Like,
Low C?
because I think the rules are good.
Okay.
They're just uninspired.
Yeah.
And they're not so good that it's like amazing. It's just a lot of like okay, decent stuff.
Wow, completely symmetric.
Oh wow, we did it.
We did it. Okay, here it is.
I think we could do a couple of. I don't want to do any because the show's running long, but like I could maybe see Nurgle going down to A. I could maybe see Gloomspite. No, I think Gloomspite plays pretty solidly B.
Mortal Reverie in chat is saying they think that Stormcast is a little bit better, and I could see that. I think if you're gonna go Reclusian Chamber, heavy Reclusian, and you're gonna build around Iridan, then it's like competitively it's quite good. But remember, what we're ranking here, Mortal, is not just is it good competitively. That's part of it. It's does it give the whole army something it kind of needs? Is it fun? I don't know how excited I am about any of the Stormcast ones. When it comes to fun, I think I need to see something like a new spell lore or a new battle formation. Or like War Scrolls that really are popping off.
Doing weird funky stuff. Like Iridan does some weird funky stuff now, but
yeah.
I mean, Iridan's really cool. His jump up and down in combat, super cool.
Yeah.
But like really that was the only thing that stuck out in that.
Yeah. And at this point, Mortal, I can't move it. We're too symmetrical. Just look at this beautiful. This is what Matt Rose wanted to see. This is the spread. This is the standard deviation curve that he wanted to see. Some are not good. Some are good. Most are in the middle. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else feel really strongly about where we have some?
James saying he thinks Fire Slayer should be higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
Maybe.
Listen. If you take 4 Iron Blasters, there's the case to be made that ogres could be higher. Like that's and then you could also say, well, not only is it good, it's kind of fun. Like 4 Iron Blasters, like let's move them up to B.
Matt Rose wanted to see us spread.
Yeah, Matt Rose wanted to see us spread. You. But I think like as far as like not spamming things, keeping it fun, but also having some competitive chances here. I think we've got it mostly right. I'm kind of looking it over. I don't know that we got A right. I think we did.
I think this is there's a certain amount of personal feeling in here.
Yeah. Well, because we didn't say this was science.
No, we didn't say. Oh, we might have.
Yeah, we might have said it was.
We're now saying it's not.
We're now saying it's not.
And just to reiterate, this is not based on what do we think of their update.
Yeah.
Did it address internal, external balance? Is it fun? Does it move the needle? I mean, I think we did all right. Yeah. I'm sure some people will disagree, but
we'll put this in our Discord as well and let the conversation happen. You can yell at us. You can tag Saray and I and tell us that we're fucksticks.
Please.
You hate us. Yeah. Please. I want to log on and see like a 15, a little red 15 by
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Listen, big elephant in the room. This is Zach's time to shine. These not in addition to 2 of my favorite armies, Nighthaunt and Daughters, going gangbusters.
Ouch.
My other favorite top 3 army, Deepkin, is about to get a new book. And so that could be juicy as well. And then as far as other armies I'm playing, which is Cute Boys, they're looking pretty good. And then as far as the army I'm supposed to be playing, but don't really enjoy playing that much and I'm learning to enjoy it. I will say that. There's Stormcast. And we did pick up Iridan, and we did start putting them together, so we will have them. And so there's that. Saray, how are you feeling after this with your armies?
I mean, I'm sitting right in that C and B zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I play Nurgle. I'm excited to try the new Maggotkin stuff. I'm excited. Despite what I was saying, I think I'm kind of excited to see what Slaves to Darkness can do. I don't think it's better.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
But I do
Just being
like
slightly
your
better is
I d-
always fun.
sorry, yeah, I do like your approach that you got a new auto.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have a new auto take battle formation.
yeah,
At least this one I won't forget.
yeah. Thanks, by the way, Mortal Reverie, for gifting 5 memberships, and thank you
Oh,
for
and
coming to
enjoy that
Labrat.
match.
Also, yeah, super awesome. Glad to have you on board. We do play Stormcast on the channel, FYI. Sometimes I play them. I'm kind of learning the army. It's
We're gonna have dragons on soon.
Yeah, and Brad has the dragon thing going, which is not top tier right now, I know, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I listen. Scourge of Ghyran I think has been a good thing. I'm super excited for the GHB. Let me while we have this up here on the screen, let me kind of we'll be putting some content up here in the next 24 hours showing you what we're doing. But if you're new to the channel, let me tell you what's going on this weekend. Starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we have Darlings of the D tier and C tier. Foot ogres, played by our dear Brad, versus Oseric Bone Reapers, played by Steven, who hasn't been on for a little bit. We love Steven and Brad games. Steven and Brad are old friends. They knew each other before the channel started. They knew each other before we knew any of them, so it's good to see two friends come and play a new edition, or not a new edition, but a new GHB. So Steven and Brad, 11 a.m. Bone Reapers versus Gutbusters. I think Brad's taking 2 Iron Blasters, by the way.
Fun.
At 5 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time. At 5 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, we have myself playing Ideneth Deepkin versus John playing Sylvaneth. That's going to be a good one. And by the way, we're going right down the battle formation, the battle plan. So we're doing battle plan 1, battle plan 2. Sunday, we have a game. First of all, Sunday at 10 a.m., we have a hobby stream. And on Sunday's hobby stream, we're doing something really exciting. Meg and I are going to be painting some freehand objective markers to kind of celebrate the new season. We think you guys are really going to love what we're doing with that. It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Kiki.
Yeah, thank you, Kiki, so much. Yeah, we appreciate it. Kiki, by the way, check out, if you need another AOS channel, which you do in your life, check out on YouTube, Saga of Dice. Saga of Dice. I'm going to type it in chat right now, or Saray or Meg, somebody type it in.
Make sure you check out
Saga of Dice. That's Kiki's channel. Check that out.
Some great stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Saray. And thank you, Kiki. Okay, so Sunday, objective markers 10 a.m. 2 p.m., right above me, this guy, Saray, playing Caradron Overlords versus Meg, who's in chat here, playing, what do you call that?
Seraphon.
Carnosaur.
Yeah, not playing Seraphon, playing Carnosaur.
Yeah, KO versus dinosaurs. Yeah, your classic Sky Dwarves versus dinosaur battle.
Versus dinosaurs. The classic matchup.
Monday, Mothers Lock Up Your Daughters. It's Zach and John at 5 p.m. We are doing what we call, this is a crass term and I hate to use it, but this will be the Dick Punch matchup of the weekend. Monday at 5 p.m. Daughters, Crethusa and the gals taking on Flesh Eater Courts. Usharan and the boys.
Usharan and the boys.
That one's gonna be fun. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be brutal. Tuesday, Wednesday, we're taking some much needed days off from streaming. We've streamed like 1 million days in a row at this point.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, what you can see is 2 more games. Saray, I'm not sure if we 100% know the matchups yet.
Probably Slaves or Iron. Probably Slaves.
I think in the morning, 11 a.m. I think it's 11 a.m. Pacific time Thursday. That's 2 p.m. Eastern time. And 7 UK time, 8 EU time. That's going to be, I think, Soulblight versus Slaves to Darkness. And then at 5 p.m. on Thursday, another doubleheader. 5 p.m. on Thursday. I'm not actually sure what that matchup is. It might be Nighthaunt versus Seraphon. I'm not sure.
That's a fun one.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it'll be me and Meg playing, husband wife. We haven't played on stream against each other in maybe 8 months, something crazy like that.
Wow.
It's been a really long time. And Saray will be producing. Meg, Saray, Zach games are always pretty wild. Yeah. Did we?
That'll be fun. Yeah, we'll have a graphic up because that's a lot to remember.
It's a lot to remember. Just remember, there's a lot of games coming down the pipeline. Hopefully, I set a faction that interests you. Also, last thing, keep in mind Meg doing journeys, painting her Lumineth. She did every day this week almost, once we got back from a little mini vacation that we took. I'm not sure if she's doing that. Meg, you're in chat. Are you 6 a.m. Pacific time journeysing next week? I don't know. It's not been great, I'll say, for our home social life. Meg goes to bed. Meg goes to bed at like 8, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Saray, did we do all the things? Yes,
We
Meg.
did it. We should update our tracker. We should update our tracker
Let's
before we go.
update the tracker. We got
15.
15.
48.
Plus,
We're right on the plus 1, so 49. We're 1 away.
1 away. I'm going to channel my inner Liam and Joe and just let everybody know that if we got one more gifted member, if we got one more gifted member, we would be at 50.
God, we probably should not have had our terrible typos. We know how to actually spell.
It worked though. It worked.
It's like a kid's lemonade stand.
Yeah, like a dumb kid's lemonade stand. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we told you all about all the games that are coming up.
Yeah. Thank you for helping us reach our membership
goal. Our membership goal.
You know what we should do? What we should do in the future?
And it's off center.
There it is. The Steve. Oh my gosh!
Steve.
All right.
And Barry.
And Barry. Okay.
Barry got tricked.
Wait, Steve and Barry. What I want each of you to do is I want you to tell me how you want me to further mess up or fix the text at the bottom of the screen. Steve, Barry, whoever goes first, that's what we're doing in that order.
You gotta update the numbers too.
I gotta update the numbers. Oh, we can mess up any text on screen actually. What text do you guys want to be now further wrong? Okay, let's see. Can we turn goal to GA? Yeah. Oh boy, can we?
Shit goal.
This channel is for sale. Dark money. That's now how you spell goal.
Oh no, and change the ship to shit. I think is what Barry wanted.
Barry wants ship to shit. He didn't even say that.
Oh, he said it.
Mortal with the get the membership too. Mortal, what do you want us to do? We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep changing. Thank you. Barry said ship to shit. Where did he say that?
He said shit goal.
Shit goal? Why don't I see this anywhere? Okay.
It's right below Steve's. Okay.
Okay.
Also, we should talk about the future of the show. Didn't say that. So this show is now called Warhammer Weekend, assuming that is not already taken.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Scourge of Ghyran exclusively. We're going to be doing it on Fridays at 9.
9 Pacific time.
Because we think that's the beginning of the weekend.
That's the perfect time to stop working.
Yeah. The day before the weekend.
Actually, this is very funny with this ship thing. While we wait for Mortal to tell us how he wants to change this to sentence, R to AHR. Oh, there we go. I bought this thing from somebody, and they were either Italian or Eastern European. I can't remember. And then I asked her to ship it to another location, and she responded. She's like, "No problem. I'll shit it there." And then the next day, I get this email. It's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And I saw the typo, and I was like, it was a 3D printed model. She's a lovely woman. We met her at LVO. And I saw the typo. I was like, oh, that's just a stupid typo. That's funny. Yeah. I'm sure she wishes she hadn't sent that. The next day, she looked at it, I guess, and then said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, what is happening? What is she talking about? And I messaged her, like, wait. I started to type. I was like, did something happen with the model? I was like, oh. She's talking about, I'll shit it there. Yeah, lovely people. Anyway, there we go. Thank you for. Oh wait, I need to change 51 to 52,
and then we'll
wrap it up here. Saray and I Meg and I know need to get lunch. It's sushi day. Saray, did we do all the things? There's a time to say bye.
We did it. Happy Scourge of Ghyran.
Happy
New
Scourge,
GHB.
Scourge of Ghyran. Unless you are Fire Slayers or Ogres, then I'm sure you're thinking it's more like Scourge of Ghyran, right, guys? Am I right? I've been waiting a few days to use that one. I'll let it sit for a minute. Scourge of Ghyran.
No one glad.
I think Matt Rose, the Scourge of Ghyran. Okay, if you're all right. Anyway, that's it. We did it. See you guys this weekend for a bunch of games and some hobbying. See you next Friday at this show.
Yep.
Let us know in chat. Sorry, not in chat. In our Discord if you're there. Let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about. Bring it up in an AOS gaming or community suggestions, and just tag either Saray or I, and we'll take a look at it. Because we don't know. We don't know what we're gonna do. So we really, if you could do that, that would be great. Yeah, we're not actually kind of asking. We're really asking. All right, we did it. Thanks everybody. Be kind to yourselves, each other. Always be creating. Happy Scrooging.
Bye.